This is a replay from the Alfredo Size 3 stream over on Twitch. Links in the doobly-doo. In these streams, we're talking about openers, how to set up, how to pick your list, how to play out turn one. Enjoy.
Okay, awesome. So, just in the interest of Vince's time, let's plan to only do one more. So, would we rather
Okay.
do Syndicate versus Avengers on Researcher and Sword, which is a 16-point game, or a fictionalized version of a game Vince and I played, which would be Winterguard again versus Shield on Fear Grips and Terrigen Clouds at 20?
Let's do Syndicate Sword.
Okay.
Unless Vince has strong feelings.
I mean, I don't really care, but
Okay.
you know how I feel about talking about Shield. I love it.
I
think it's
didn't
the
know if you want to
best.
save your 6 shield strats, Keep those
Well,
close to the chest.
I'm so bad at keeping shit secret, dude. I'm
Yeah,
so
dude, I
bad at
know.
it.
Okay, well,
I
let's
was
actually...
at LVO with you.
Let's do that one then, because even though
Sure, yeah.
since it's my Malekith Winterguard list and it's Shield, it has a lot of meta relevance right now, so I think...
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. What is the quickest way to clear all this bullshit off of TTS? I don't really...
Reset the
Click-
mod, games,
Click games.
Okay,
and
and
just
then-
load it like it's a brand new thing.
click games, load it like it's a brand... I did it.
Hooray.
I will load the lists in. So yeah, this is a game we did play and Vince won, except I have switched one of the crises and the point value to be more different from the game we just looked at. But so it's slightly hypothetical. Okay, this is my Malekith list, so everything's loading properly.
I remember this game. It was super unsatisfying ending because
Oh yeah, right. This is the...
because we had to do a little bit of time travel.
Yeah, because I used a leadership I didn't have anymore because Crimson Dynamo was dead. Okay, so, and it's game 3 for you guys looking at the document.
Also, stream overlay.
Stream overlay. Oh, yeah, that's stream overlay.
Yeah.
Game
Oh,
3.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Too many overlays.
Okay. Yep, Thanos is saying the right stats now. Threat 20, Fear Grips World, Terrigen Clouds.
World. Terrigen Clouds.
Okay, cool.
And who had priority? Shield has priority.
Yeah, Shield is priority. So once again, this is not me having priority.
Yeah, because you'd pick extra. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so it's
All
20 points. So, I think we should breeze through my draft just because with the Malekith version is pretty damn easy. So,
Okay.
Also, I was just out of curiosity, why would you pick 20 and not 18?
I don't know.
So, I
yes,
mean, you're playing Malekith.
Yeah.
Lower points, Malekith stronger.
Yes.
Shield, at least my belief, I'm not 100% sure the data equates this, but I think Shield's win rate goes up the higher the points get.
Certainly into Malekith you get, but I do agree, barring weird circumstances, Malekith is basically always better the lower the number.
Mhm.
If there's specific things you're trying to fit in, I get it, but also I think, and we can do this we absolutely should do this at 20, but that's just the...
Because what would your 18 look like?
So the 18 is Dynamo, Red Guardian, Malekith, and then I have 4 more points, so it can basically only be Ursa Major.
Okay.
Okay, so that's...
I think that's
great.
probably
Yeah,
why
that's
I
fair.
chose 20, and it might just be an issue with this list that Black Swan should instead be I don't know. I mean, it's actually 18 is kind of awkward playing Malekith with Winterguard, but I didn't want to play
so
Ursa
that's why you
Major.
pick 20. That's
Yeah.
totally a fair reason to pick 20.
Yeah, because Ursa Major is not very impressive against.
Shield? No.
Yeah, and I think I still end up playing him at 20. I can either play Winter Soldier Darkstar or Ursa Major Wong, and so I'm still kind of trapped with Major here because of affiliation concerns. But I think looking at this now, since it's a hypothetical game, I would actually go Darkstar Winter Soldier here.
Yes, I think those blasters are really good into Shield.
Yeah. I really like Wong with Malekith, but I really don't like Ursa Major into Shield. So
I don't think he's that bad. Like the trick is just you have to play your charge characters like they don't have charge.
yeah. Well, he can never
Like,
play for charge anyway.
the charge and aggressive is nice in the shield, but like the biggest thing that I think Ursa Major has on his card is the spender.
Yeah.
And I don't think the spender is very exciting in the shield.
Yeah, that's mostly what I'm talking about. Is like you don't staggering a single shield model is not as cool as staggering.
If you can throw a shield
Thanos.
model into another shield model, it feels good.
Yeah.
But it's only a short throw, and it's somewhat difficult to line up sometimes. But
And you don't have a lot of say of which character it goes into, and then it probably comes off the first time you do it because of the med pack.
Also, I think Darkstar is like shield is one of the matchups where Darkstar is pretty good because teleporting Malekith around really helps
deal.
with the closing.
Yeah.
Teleporting Malekith around. I think she's also just totally fine just teleporting herself and making 2 gunshots every turn.
True. Yeah, definitely.
Like, I think that's totally a reasonable thing to be doing with that character.
Definitely.
Okay, your cards real quick, Bots.
Oh yeah. So we have Comrade's Keeper, Follow Me, and Sovereign Strike for sure. And then I think the last two. So I think I would take Sacrifice because I think I can interrupt big plays into Malekith, and if Malekith lives on power, then he can do a lot.
You take Sacrifice because he has Helios Laser, and you have
yeah,
other
right.
Helios Laser attack.
Yeah, so we now have.
Let me help you out.
Yeah, right. Sorry. So we have two blocks for Helios Laser now.
Yeah.
Comrade's Keeper and Sacrifice, and then
But I have to churn through both of those.
And then the last one, I don't feel super strongly. I really like
You don't
Smash.
take Brace.
You don't take
Never
Brace.
take Brace into shield. It's a trap.
I think for me, the two, unless there's something really cute on these crises for mission objective, which I don't think there are.
Not really.
I would take either Winter Rush or Smash. Winter Rush is expensive, but gives me some pretty interesting stuff into a range faction, and then Smash Smash just lets me go for big beam plays on one turn, which I think is good, but everybody tells me is win more, so.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Your choice for this last card is rough so I will also say I think Escort to Safety is a okay ad that I think is on par with the other two because it's another level of anti-Helios tech. It's the worst one by far, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Winter Rush is particularly interesting into shield. I don't think you have quite enough Winter Guardians to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, it really Winter Rush really only feels good when you're playing all 4 of them.
Right, I agree. And I also think like the Smash thing is so weird because I agree with you. The Smash beams are good, and people undervalue that part of it, and especially into a weenie faction, Smash beams are where it's at. But also, I know Vince loves when people try to beam his shit because this guy is really good against beams. So there's like I think I end up landing on Smash, but it's not quite the slam dunk that it would be into a weenie faction that isn't Shield.
Well, see, the thing that I like about Smash here is that you can like smash laser after Eye in the Sky. Like you try to make an important attack, and then you get Eye in the Sky, and then you smash laser if there's at least like 2 or 3 targets available. That's
Sure.
usually how I like to use it. But
take Smash.
Okay, we're taking Smash. All right. I will just shut up while Vince tells me what shield drafts here.
Okay, I mean shield starts here.
Stupid faction.
And then we have to play 4 points, so this is in. And then we pick between Hawkeye and Luke. It's probably Luke here. I don't know. I go back and forth on which one of these 2 characters I should play in the Malekith.
Remember, also it's Winterguard Malekith. So I mean, like I still think Hawkeye is good, but it's easier to clear his conditions
or whatever.
Yeah, there'll be less conditions. He still puts up enough that there's.
I also think since this is Terrigen, you would take Luke to have just some other idiot to go stand on a Terrigen.
Yeah, true.
And then we probably just play the 5 defensive cards, like
5 defensive
5 cards you play every game.
Helios Laser Bombardment.
Yeah, it's defending it.
Love you to play 5 defensive cards.
Sorry, killing people is a defensive thing.
The most American response.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean this makes sense. I don't know. Brace is good.
Do you
Sacrifice
want
good.
I guess
Also,
Heroes is
like,
hard to fit here.
I kind of think the shield just never plays heroes.
Damn. The woke
I could
take.
see it.
Um,
You know what? No, fuck that. You take Heroes over Brace here. Or I would, at least. Being the
I
expert
mean,
shield
I
player in
think
the
so.
room.
Like the thing about so when you play into a Malekith player, they're going to
Uh-huh.
expect you to eye in the sky their charge every single time,
Yeah.
True.
right? And so I think that like Brace gives you the option to just not do that one time.
I mean, so does just spreading out your models and playing good.
I don't think that's like truly realistic
No,
into
you're probably
Malekith.
right.
Like
That's
I think
fair.
you could like avoid getting Braced, but then you won't have the surface area to get Malekith.
All right, we'll keep it. This is not a super relevant discussion, so we can just go with Brace. That's cool.
Okay. Oh, I actually... Hang on, I'm going to clear the Crisis tokens. I think if I was... Because I don't have priority here, right? So I choose map side? Yeah.
Yeah, you get to choose
So,
map side.
looking at this, I would flip this around. Almost certainly. The
All
main
right,
thing
yeah, flip
being
it.
I want to be able to deploy as close to my own hammer as possible. So, and I think that stupid little box was going to stop me from doing that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I would set it up like this. And also because I want big terrain on his side of the field, because that makes it more likely that I can Sovereign Strike it. So, okay. So then, how do I activate this?
Hey, Vince.
Roster.
Switch colors with me so you can move shield models around.
I can't just move shield models around right now.
Oh, I don't know. Some of the colors can't, but if that one can, then we're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, my opponent has priority. I think. Well, yeah. What? I don't know if we need to deploy every single model here. It's a much bigger game. But like, what am I aiming for? Like, what are we?
We should deploy everything. What are we here for? If not
Yeah,
to
I guess
deploy
you're
every
right. I guess you're
model?
right. Okay, cool. So Vince.
Especially since we decided to only do 2 games, we have plenty of time.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Vince deploys Winter Soldier
to get the home hammer because Winter Soldier wants a hammer and
Right.
he wants the safe hammer.
Okay, so probably my instinct looking at this is that Crimson Dynamo and Malekith are both going to be central. So I feel fine deploying either of those. Is it silly to just put Malekith here? I guess. Okay, this opens with one of my questions. First of all, does Malekith actually just start on the hammer here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. And then second of all, am I giving my home hammer to Malekith, Crimson Dynamo, or someone else? Like, it could be my own Winter Soldier too in this case.
I think you probably give it to your own because you give up walk charge because you didn't bring long.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen people do the thing with him, or like I've seen it with Hulkbuster a bunch, but like he can start on the home hammer, grab it, walk, grab a second hammer, which I think is an okay play.
Okay, I see.
I think it's less good on Malekith, and I think it's extra less good if you don't have priority, because then your opponent gets to pick which hammer you go to.
Okay.
So in this case, I think you want Winter Soldier to get your home hammer, and I also disagree with you about putting Dynamo in the center.
Okay. You think I should do a refuse flank here as well?
Well, I think Dynamo with Terrigen is too slow. If he starts in the center, he will not be able to reach the points.
I see.
I'm fine if we kind of do something like this, but he's going to have to pick a side because he's too slow to start in the center and get to one of those.
I see. Okay, cool. So does my first deployment become Winter Soldier then, or is it still Malekith, but I'm not playing?
I think on hammers, like regardless of your faction, if you're playing Bucky on hammers, he should be your first deployment right next to the home hammer.
Okay, got it.
I can't think of a time where I would disagree with that. Yeah.
Like maybe if you're like still doing MODOK nonsense.
Yeah, right? Or like if you have priority and are doing the Hulkbuster, grab some hammers. If you got like a Storm Hop to do shit, like this seems
But like for the vast majority, like I can only think of plays that are like about as good and much more complicated.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool. Well, I love simpler things that are 95% of the way there. So.
I probably put.
So Shield is going to do another throwaway activation, right? So I think you want him a little further over here, because like I'm going to say this, and you can tell me if I'm right. Let's see if I've learned how to play Shield listening to Vince. He's going to try to line up the Furies against whoever he thinks. Like, he's going to let you walk up onto a hammer, and he wants both Furies opposite that to punish whoever grabs that hammer.
Both
Right.
Furies opposite the same hammer, you're saying?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like one
The
of the really
commandos want to
classic-
walk up, incinerate. Then the agents walk up, shoot. Nick walks up and shoots, and that's
I
a
see.
bunch of damage.
Yeah.
And so I was nudging Bullseye over because I think this tank is going to block ideal Fury placement, and so I want more room over there for 2 medium bases.
I think Fury just fits on that tank.
Better say but might as well give you a safety blanket because Bullseye still reaches from here.
Okay. That's
Okay.
fair.
That makes some sense to me. So then what's my second activation? I guess I could have another throw wave, but just putting Malekith central, like slightly
So
outside of Winter Soldier.
if we look at the Shield roster, he has 3 he only really cares about Fury and Iron Man, about what matchups they get, and the rest of his idiots don't really care. Is that true, Vince?
Yeah, like the other ones that care about their matchups can't get them because Malekith's so fast.
Right.
So like I would like Cage and Malekith. I can't get that matchup.
Yeah, and it's less important than your other matchup choices. Like, you're going to save Fury, Iron Man for last.
Yep.
Which means you can
It kind of doesn't matter. Like the shape is going to kind of dictate, but the thing is, like, you're so fast,
Right.
with Malekith that like I can't. And I also think this can Malekith be leaned one side and still charge either D?
Well, we
How
can
much play does he
No.
have?
I don't think he can.
He does not have wiggle room.
So
he-
like, I do think that your Winter Soldier placement should be like here.
If he's going to the central thing, what does it matter? All right, let me turn these back.
It means
because he's not in the way of Malekith.
Oh, you just want Malekith.
because Malekith can still deploy here and reach either point,
I
but
see,
he
I see.
has
Yeah.
almost no wiggle room to do this. He has to be like pretty much dead on to be able to cover both points.
Damn, I have 2 coaches and I already fucked up my first deployment.
I mean, we didn't catch it either until we got this far in the discussion, so that's why we do this.
No, yeah, I'm blaming you, not me.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay, so actually, my first deployment was like this, and then
I mean, your first deployment could just be Malekith because you
just
know
so you
he's
don't
going to be
fuck
in
it
the
up.
center, and then you can't
Yeah.
block it.
I guess that's sort of what I'm thinking too. Is that like if the main thing if there's nothing that Vince can do that will change the fact that Malekith can reach both sides from the center and not otherwise, then he should just be my first because it says literally nothing. Okay.
Right. And like he's so much wider than you won't be able to like pick your matchups better than this. Right. Like you'll have to put Malekith down before he has to put down the super valuable stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'm always gonna. I can only pick Malekith's matchups during the turn, not at deployment. Okay, cool. So this is now deployed. Who is that?
He's going to
it's
throw
Black
his
Widow.
other 2-threat in the middle.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't matter.
So
Can
now
she, if you deploy her like here, she can reach either point, right?
Yeah. I don't know if she. I don't know.
Is
Well,
there any
let's
reason
check.
not to do that? Because like she's gonna double walk turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like she can.
I guess not. So I think Widow is going to go to the side with the Furies
Sure.
because she is the most likely thing to bait Malekith in.
Sure.
And
It's just like she can do the
is-
same thing Malekith does, where she stands in the center and can go either way.
Yeah.
And you might as well have more options. I agree with you. 90% of games, her deploying here is going to have the exact same effect.
Mhm.
But if we're sitting here optimizing every last little bit we can get out of this, we might as
Sure.
well put Widow in the center with Bucks.
So I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea.
Here. Doesn't matter. All right.
Okay, so now I have to start making decisions basically.
Mhm.
Yep.
Darkstar is of the 3 left the most flexible positioning wise because she could on future turns theoretically teleport herself and walk twice, but that's expensive, so I'd still prefer not to do that. So
Yes.
what do I do here next? Because he's basically giving me no information. We're agreeing, right? I mean, like,
Yep.
He's giving you a tiny bit of information, which is that Bullseye is probably going to one side,
Right.
and Widow is probably going to. Like, the two threats usually are going to split up.
Right. Okay.
And I think it's slightly worth knowing that Widow has stealth, and so Darkstar has a slightly worse time shooting Widow.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So does that mean that I put Darkstar to the Bullseye side, roughly?
I think that, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal, right? Like, you could convince me to put her on either side. I guess the question is, so if you know he is going to Fury Pile on
Right,
whoever
right.
grabs a hammer, right? Who are you okay with that happening to, if anyone?
I mean, if I had to choose someone, it would be either Dynamo or Malekith, I guess. But it's not going to be Malekith because he's going to go last pretty much always. I mean, I guess it would be Dynamo? I mean, I don't know. The problem is, well, okay, you don't have Hawkeye, so my leadership isn't quite as important as it would be if you did have Hawkeye.
Your leadership is super important. I have 2 staggers.
Oh, that's true. You
And
do
a bunch
staggers.
of incinerated guns.
Yeah. Never mind.
Your leadership
Well,
is
I mean,
hyper relevant.
I mean, it might be that I just have to kind of sacrifice Red Guardian, like just sort of hope that he survives through some attacks. If I have to give somebody up to keep competitive with points, maybe it is actually Red Guardian.
Well, I mean, I don't hate putting Dynamo up there early because he is the type of model that the Furies are the worst at attacking. Like, damage reduction is one of the better things against.
I think that what you should do is Red Guardian should go on this side and Dynamo should go on this side because Guardian can stand in this cover, and cover is very good against shield. This is also the reason that Bullseye is on this side.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Vince jumped ahead, but it just kind of says like you figure out your sacrificial models and then figure out does one side of the board make them slightly less sacrificial, whether through terrain or like getting cover here.
Okay.
Matters a big deal for Guardian.
So given the terrain,
cover count blanks is very hard for shield to punch through.
Right.
Yes.
So it should be like this then, probably, right? Since because of large pipes.
And then shield is.
So then I continue to show you nothing.
Put him over here. Put him way on the side.
No.
Why not?
Why? This spot is where, if I'm going to deploy the Furies over here,
okay,
the Grunts go right there.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Fair. That's interesting that this deployment that you have so far is still not committing your Furies to one side or the other. I guess
Furies are going to the Furies are still not committed. Iron Man, the other 3 is going to go on this side,
right?
And then we're going to commit the Furies as late as possible.
I see. Okay. So given that, so that means, I mean, I've already kind of made the decision that Crimson Dynamo is going the other direction, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then Dynamo goes like here-ish. Can't actually get a little bit of cover, but anyway.
Size 1.
Oh yeah, right. Sad.
Then I think Iron Man here-ish.
Yeah, he's got flight, so he doesn't care about the big truck.
Yeah, and I want to be able to walk and shoot whoever. So
yeah, Iron Man is slightly better than average against Dynamo, just because energy is.
The leadership makes Iron Man fairly sad, but
yeah, that's true. And then so I have Darkstar left. So okay, so I guess this is. So my plan right now is to pick up a hammer with Guardian and maybe get him killed, right?
I mean,
so what I was going to say, I get to pick the side. So right now, okay, so like it's kind of complicated, but I am going to put the Furies on one side, and then I am either going to commit a 2 threat to go pick up a hammer on the non-Fury side and threaten to kill whatever you put here. And then if you don't put it there, immediately I'm going to go take it with the agents.
Okay, I see.
Right, so it's almost certainly, like, I think you can kind of, like, lean that the Furies are going on this side.
Okay.
Because my more survivable Malekith model is on this side. And I'm not I'm not going to put Iron Man on the midpoint on turn 1.
Right.
You know that there's 0 chance of that happening.
Yeah, like it's very likely Widow's going to go here.
Okay.
And I think Darkstar.
Like, because we have this Widow that can maybe go to either side, maybe Widow goes here.
But I would put Darkstar here because the plan, your plan is you'd rather sacrifice Red Guardian than Darkstar.
Yeah.
Right? Or than Crimson Dynamo. And so if you know your first possible activation, Guardian's going to walk up, then having Darkstar over here, because even with stealth, she should be able to walk and shoot the Widow who goes and grabs this.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that makes sense then. So. Okay. Well, we have our deployment. I think I understand.
Hold on.
Oh no, we don't have our deployment. Sorry. Yeah, I have my deployment.
Yeah, you have your deployment. I think there's like good arguments for. So the Furies are going together. I think there's good arguments either way here.
Agreed.
Like putting the Furies over here. I think lets us. I think it's slightly better over here. Assuming that this Widow thing is actually in, you're probably correct that I should have put Widow dead center.
Usually, yeah.
You guys there?
I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not sure where I would put them. I suppose I would put Nikus to go straight across. Shield agents can go over here. They have a lot of play. Fury has a little bit of play. Let's get to this trick. I like that. And then activate first. I go pick up this, and then you either give me Dynamo to shoot. And I think the reason I put them over here is because Dynamo's over here, and I know you're not going to go pick it up with Darkstar.
Okay.
Because if you go pick it up with Darkstar, Darkstar just dies.
Darkstar just dies. Yeah.
And she's like 70% to die to this combo.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
In which case you're just handing me the hammer and 5 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you give me Dynamo, I would love to take this leadership off the board.
Right.
And I get to put all of this into Dynamo to start.
Yeah, see, I think this makes more sense for you also because putting Iron Man and the Furies together makes it tougher for Malekith because I want Malekith to be hunting the Furies, but I don't want him to be near Iron Man, but
this does open up an option for you of, since all of his anti-Malekiths are on one side of the board, you could just try to crash the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, all my anti-Malekith is over there. So, like, if you end up committing Malekith here to kill Widow, like, I'm maybe going to put 2 bullseye shots into him, or put a bullseye shot into him, and he's going to bleed. It's like maybe 2 damage Malekith's going to take.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And, like, because if Malekith can clean up that side and start pushing, like, chasing Bucky down, excuse me, it's going to take some time for his anti-Mal stuff to catch up to him, and you can just leave, like, Red Guardian behind to score that Terrigen for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this deployment makes sense. This is interesting because I think this makes sense, and I don't remember thinking I totally fucked up our deployment in the actual game, which admittedly was different. It had different crises, but this is much different than that deployment, even though they both seem fine. Yeah. But
I think you're fine. And killing Widow over here is a straight coin flip.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's better than that because he can throw a Red Guardian shield at him if he wants.
Oh yeah, if you get more attacks than that, but yeah.
Because he doesn't need to come stand on the point because he knows Malekith is going to end up on the point.
Yeah.
So he can walk through our shield.
I guess you also have a 4-die into Death 3.
Ignoring cover, hooray!
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
so that would take it up to a 70.
Hell yeah.
Huge. All right, so let's run through the first few activations of this.
Yep. So shield has priority. Widow's gonna go. Yeah, she can
Okay.
get in cover because it happens to work out that way for her, but doesn't have a lot of play in where she lands and grabs the hammer.
Okay, so given that, what is my first activation?
Your choice right now is to give me lots of attacks on Crimson Dynamo or that hammer.
Right. And I mean, I think I probably want to give you the hammer, right? Because I mean,
I really don't know what the correct call is here.
I mean, so
I think this is like a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation.
Well, okay, so if you take the hammer and presumably that cloud, you certainly at least can outnumber me if you wanted to on that cloud.
So
That would
the
be
upside of letting me, if you let me have the hammer, it means it's very unlikely, or you have a lot of say in whether or not Eye in the Sky is online round 2.
Right. Okay. I think I
Because
want to give
as
you
long
the
as you
hammer.
don't damage the shield. Okay, so if you give me the hammer,
Yeah. But I still
sorry,
have to
so
activate something though.
yeah, sorry.
Because the thing is also that it feels like I'm.
Well, you have a pass here if you want it.
Oh yeah. Is there any reason I shouldn't take a pass here?
Right, because I have 7. Yeah.
Yes. I just want to make sure I don't fuck it up and give you priority turn 2. But
Yeah.
Yes, you have a 1 pass.
Okay. Is there a reason I wouldn't pass here? I sort of think.
If you're fine giving up the hammer, you can pass. I am actually of the opinion that I would throw Red Guardian out, or not Crimson Dynamo out there and
Really?
let him flail against me.
Wow. Okay.
So, not counting Disruption Field into the math because that's hard, and it's
Yeah.
just all of those dudes attack you. He's 30% to do 6 damage.
Really? Wow, that is lower than I would have expected. Huh. Okay.
The extra hit point is a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know
6 health
he's
and the
tanky,
damage
but it's-
reduction is good shit.
Yeah. I guess if you're attacking too, you're probably not contesting the cloud. Then.
No,
Yeah.
all of those models have to be off the cloud to hit you.
So I guess if he lives, it's really good for me. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And even if he dies, you can have Darkstar go walk onto the cloud.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just try that then. So
It is risky, right?
Yeah.
Like 30% is reasonable odds to die, but also again, so I didn't count Disruption Field, which potentially matters a lot depending on when you take damage.
Yeah, right. It's pretty hard to tell ahead of time because it would be when I get to exactly 2 power. Yeah.
Right, and you can't use it on Iron Man because he'll be out of range.
Right. Yeah.
And he's probably going to shoot you. Like Iron Man will shoot you last, I would expect.
Yeah, because he's likely to push you out of range of all the other.
But ideally, like if you get it before the Fury attack and can stop the Pierce from piercing, you're a happy boy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's say we do this. So then what is your next activation, Vince?
I probably just literally start doing this.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, there's no more pressure anywhere really. So Ow. Okay.
Roll some dice.
Ooh, exciting.
You too, bots.
Yeah. I froze.
We're just playing a game now.
Is this physical or energy for this one?
Energy.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's a god. Block 2.
Oh yeah, take 1.
Okay. I'm incinerated. Yep. Okay. So what's my next activation? I mean, I could just take the Winterguard hammer. There's nothing else that I want to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, so your freebies you can pass. You can have Winter Soldier take a hammer.
Right, I do.
You can have Guardian throw a shield at Widow. I would probably wait on that because he might fuck up and give you a ricochet.
I was gonna say I think Red Guardian wants to go probably second. Well, probably not second to last, but I can wait one more at least.
Later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you either pass or grab the hammer. I would probably pass because because after Soldier picks up the hammer, he has to pick a side.
Right.
And you might as well have as much information as you can before you pick that side.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I would pass here, so then it's Vince's activation again.
Well, I'm gonna take the gamble that
He's gonna do his favorite thing because it's Vince. Yeah.
Well, this also it might give me turn 1 Eye in the Sky. So
sad.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah.
In which case, like Widow could be very safe.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
that's whack.
I
Roll
don't
some
know if
dice.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think your shielding just moved a little too far, but it's easily fixed.
Disruption.
This is physical, but you're incinerated.
Yep. Luck 1.
Take nothing.
Okay, huge.
Hooray, no iron sky.
This up here.
So I'll just main
That
power.
also means no disruption field.
Yes.
Ow. Ow. Please. 5 down to 4. Very sad. Garbage. So that's my activation again, right?
Yeah.
So now I take Bucky, I guess?
Well, so now you also have the waffle option. Oh no, you want to wait on that to make him think a little bit more with the hammer. So yeah, now I would do the Bucky.
And so am I choosing the big side or the side?
I would choose the widow side.
Okay.
And I'll give my argument, and then we can see what Vince thinks. Because so if we know you're going to win that side, I want the hammer safely over there, right? Like if Bucky goes to his strong side and ends up getting sniped out, then you're giving a hammer back to him.
Right. Okay. And even despite Crimson Dynamo getting probably now dying, I'm not changing my plan for Malekith, right? He's still going to my left. Yeah, okay.
Because you don't want Malekith to dive into all the things that want to see Malekith.
Right, okay. What about you, Vince? Does that make sense to you, or?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with this.
Alright, so then he goes there, he picks up the hammer. Bam. And then just move again, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Something like this, probably?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. The only gun on that side you have to worry about is his Bucky, right? So you can stand there, you can stand.
Mad disrespect to my man Bullseye.
Bullseye's gonna have a lot of problems very soon.
Yeah, he's probably
fine. All right. Cool. That's it for him.
Yep. And now we see if Iron Man shits the bed.
I don't. I activate Iron Man second to last.
All right, fine.
Because if I shoot him, like you could just pick it up with Darkstar.
That's right.
Trying to trick you.
I think Cage yearish. I don't know. Probably like there.
Hell yeah, Ricochet time.
Outplayed.
I mean, I think it is Red Guardian's turn, so.
Yeah, okay. So I have to be within 3.
Yeah, which is very easy to do.
Yes. And you think I do the Ricochet
Especially
rather than standing on point, since Malekith is coming
Because Malekith's going to stand on the point for you.
Right,
yeah.
I can't go over that terrain. Duh.
You're fine, dude. Just put him wherever you want.
Oh, no. Okay. And then
I'm going to roll more dice because it's fun for me.
Okay. 4 dice into your physical defense. To God. He's already got the Ricochet, too. 2, so nothing.
But you get a power.
Get a power, and then Ricochet onto Cage.
He blocks it, but you get a power.
Right. I think isn't there a little bit of risk of doing that?
What's the risk?
That I can aggressive out of Malekith's charge range. I'm not sure that I can, but I think it's like not 0.
I forgot about aggressive.
I think you still take it regardless.
Like, no, I don't think you do.
Really? I actually shouldn't have done that? Wow.
How do
I freehand turn this fucking thing?
Q and E.
Oh, okay.
Because the other...
I don't know if you can aggress out of that.
Maybe not.
I mean, it's gonna end up with Malekith in kind of a weird spot, but like...
Yeah, I guess maybe I can't.
It's like...
Yeah, I would take the attack.
Something like this, right? I mean, I think that's...
Yeah.
That looks Malekith-ish. I think you... Sure you
No,
can
I
do
think
that.
this is right. Yeah, we're good. All right, Vince, what you got?
Where is he? Sorry, I have the super wide cards that are blocking my vision of everything.
Gotcha. I'll help you out.
I think Bucky still plays this kind of safe here. Oh, actually, just stand right next to Cage.
Yeah. And so this is what I wanted, which is now 3 hammers on Malika's side of the board. And I don't know if there's
Right.
much Vince can do about that, but this is the scenario I wanted, right? Because then if you win this side, you're winning VPs.
I see. You don't. Well, I guess yeah. You don't think there's some. That means that there's some merit to his Bucky going the opposite direction and us just being tied on VPs if we're.
If his Bucky goes in the opposite direction, he is spending 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 threat to deal with Dynamo and Darkstar.
And then victory points are just spread evenly.
Yeah.
There's an argument that I may have put Bucky up too close here, that maybe he should be here so that you can't. I don't know where the walk charge line for Malekith is.
Yeah, I mean, Bucky will be safe. That's fine. It's just I like this for future turns to have. This is the main reason I wanted your Bucky to go the way that he did. I want as many hammers on Malika's side of the board as possible.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm relying on the fact that I'm going to win this quickly and then cart people back with the commandos.
Yeah, and if he doesn't spike the shit out of his Nick Fury roll turn 1, you're feeling pretty good with Dynamo stalling for time.
Yeah. Okay. So now is my activation, and given that he did spike that roll, is there what is like? Does that change anything about what I should do? Like, should I leave Darkstar later? No. Okay.
Oh yeah, I would leave Darkstar for last.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which order you do this in. I will activate the side of the board that you activate on.
Well, technically, if he waits, because you only have Iron Man left, right?
And Bullseye.
Oh yeah, and Bullseye. Okay, yeah. So no, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I have priority, in which case, awesome.
Yeah, no, I fucked up. Yeah. So do this whenever order you want.
Can Malekith actually get to this point because of those barrels? I mean, I know this is specific, but okay. So first of all, we do think that Malekith going into Black Widow here is correct, right?
1,000,000%.
Okay.
It's coin flip for like 2 VPs.
Oh, okay. I think he can get there. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
But we have to kind of.
You're probably right. I'm gonna look at aggressive after this, but I cannot get out of Malekith.
Because it has to be towards, right? So
it has to be towards Guardian.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the charge, and then.
All right, take your coin flip to kill me.
You did not get that. Take no damage.
Oh, why not? No, Pierce.
Martial artist.
Oh,
martial artist.
Yeah.
I count the blanket Pierce.
Sad.
That's why Widow's good over here.
All right. Well, that was.
Damn it.
Dice are gonna dice, but.
Yeah. Okay, so then it's your activation, Vince.
Bullseye walks up and throws a knife at Mr. Keith.
You don't think you double move to get the point here? Because you have an opportunity to do that now. I don't know if that makes a difference to you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
I think I arguably want to be down on points.
Truly.
To use the shield leadership.
Shield brain behavior.
Just so many VPs, buddy.
This guy hates VPs.
And I think I have to just start working on the Malekith thing.
Right. You would know better than me. I'm not gonna.
Hell yeah! A perfect bullseye roll.
This is bullshit.
Take one and bleed.
Right, now Darkstar just has to go stand on point.
Yeah. Okay. Watch her friend die. Is there like meaning to how I stand on the point here, or is it just like this? It's fine.
Stand in front of Dynamo, because then Iron Man pushing you is hard. Like you can backstop on the barrel and stuff, and there's
already like fucking impossible for me to.
Yeah, it's very marginal benefit, but.
Okay. But like that.
Yeah. Perfect.
It looks like she's blocking for him.
Yeah.
Cool. Down, Mr. President.
Here,
Move him. I attack you. I would like 1 damage, please.
You're out of my thing, and Darkstar can't pay for her thing, so yeah. Okay.
And you're deaf too.
It's
right. did it. Very sad.
This game sucks.
That's what I'm saying. Alright, well you...
I don't know, shield real good, dude.
Oh, but you don't get to pick up the hammer this turn. Beautiful.
No, he doesn't.
But,
And that's why I think this is
that's
like,
going over here.
yeah.
Are you sure? Okay. Alright. So then it ends up at 1, 2, so you get 3 to my 1, is that right? Or no, 2 to my
What?
1, 2 to my 1. Oh no,
You
I
get
win
3.
this, sorry. Yeah. 3
And he
to
gets
2.
2.
Yeah, okay. But I do have a dazed Dynamo, which is very sad. They're both Donald Duck.
I just want to play this game out now. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, no shit.
This here, take your 1 damage and poison.
Oh yeah. Lag. Oh, right. She doesn't take.
That stays right there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know that the dice were not in my favor in this round, but does this feel like an okay opening for me?
absolutely, because I think you can rocket boots over here, grab this hammer, and double beam all 4 of those fools.
It's true. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, he's also not incinerated anymore, but that will stay for very long.
Like, I think you save Malekith here because Malekith is in negative danger.
Oh man, I could smash.
You're
and get 1 more
adorable that
die
you think
for
you're
all
gonna double beam those characters.
Well, okay, but I'm
Gonna double beam a lot of them.
Yeah, double beam 3 of them, right? I mean, or
Yeah.
maybe 2 of them because
You're
the
gonna
first
deal
one killed
damage.
the agent.
Yeah, so if the first one kills the agents, so you're firstly going to take the agent shot last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe just fucking don't shoot the agent so it doesn't give you the VP.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then
Who cares?
move
All that
the
cares
others.
about the agents is the agents don't get the hammer. So you go over here and you try to just beam like 3 of them.
I wouldn't have thought of the VP thing, but otherwise...
Because
Well,
what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the VP, so then he has aggressive, so then he can spread out with
And
the
not be in the
aggressive
beam
moves
anymore.
and make the beams harder.
Yeah. Right.
But even 1 beam on all 4 of those is potentially real. Like, just hit the wild every time and you feel amazing.
Could also smash for 1 extra... 1 extra... Oh, actually, wait, no, this is huge. I also... If I don't target the agents, so I don't get people moving, and... I don't know. If Vince doesn't understand the threat here, he can Sovereign Strike on 2 of these people, too.
I mean, you could just start with, like, you could...
Oh, yeah, I guess you just start with Sovereign Strike, because it doesn't
start with the
trigger.
Sovereign Strike.
Yeah.
Go over here.
Don't start with the Sovereign Strike.
Why not? You can't hide in the sky, can you?
No, but it turns on the counterattack with the
Commandos?
agents, or the commandos.
That's fine.
I think that's not a big deal.
Oh, I guess it.
I think the commandos are the most likely ones to die.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
it's
too.
true. I don't think you're likely to kill anybody here, but maybe.
But
I
also,
Wait,
you do
you
open.
say-
You definitely open with Sovereign Strike because it also takes
Cover
away
away
from Iron Man.
And you have enough power to Sovereign Strike Jet Boots, pick up Hammer.
Oh yeah, you definitely do it because of the extra power from the hammer. That's definitely you definitely.
Right, yeah, that's the other reason is you don't want to
Okay.
Sovereign Strike. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, because you get extra die. Okay. Wow. Yeah, actually,
And
that does
like-
seem like a pretty sick opening activation. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been very helpful, guys. I don't know.
So you do this, however this shakes out.
Uh,
Probably just double run Widow, right?
various.
Yeah, I think
I guess
you-
it kind of depends on what the hit
You're
points
a
look like over
mortal-
here and whether or not Darkstar can clear stuff up.
Mortal
Yeah,
fucking
like
Widow.
it all goes into Marvel from this. Like, there's a whole lot of game from this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like depending on how well the Dynamo things go, you can maybe you need to go over there. Like ideally, he puts enough pressure on these models that you're forced to go, so Darkstar doesn't kill you, which then means his Malekith has like he gets priority on both sides of the table then, which
Yeah.
is what bots would like the most. But if he
Yeah.
doesn't and you have time, then I agree with you. Widow running the fuck away is absolutely correct. Because you need to get the hammer. You need to undo the thing I was just talking about, which is all the hammers being by Malekith.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, me being a point up here and still having this nice Crimson Dynamo
I
opener
mean, you're not
feels
up a
pretty.
point. It's the game's tied.
Yeah.
I guess that's
You will kill something. He
Yeah,
will
yeah,
get a
You will
VP.
kill something this turn.
nefarious.
And I think that's fine. Like I think this was a very rough start for you, both Dynamo dying and Malekith doing 0 damage to a Black Widow
Yeah.
is kind of insane. And you're still in a totally playable position.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like, because the other way like this goes is that, Dynamo's on like 3 health
Mhm.
and Widow's dead and Malekith has the hammer
Mhm.
is like the best case scenario for you,
Yep.
or the best
Malekith
reasonable
has the
case
And
scenario.
that's
Yeah.
then
Right,
he's on
right.
5 VP instead of 3.
Yeah. Wait. If he killed Black Widow here and picked up the hammer, aren't I on 6 VP? And
Yes.
And
Sorry.
Vince is
Yes.
on 1. Like this could be turn 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on
okay.
2. Oh, yeah.
No, if I
You're right,
killed
I'm on
Black
1.
Widow.
Yeah.
If I hit
Yeah.
the coin flip. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's definitely a better start than I've got.
Yeah, the upside there is really high.
before.
And then even doing that, he still like you still get to have that Dynamo turn. Right? Like if you just leave,
Right.
Dynamo doesn't need a lot of power to do the Dynamo thing that we just talked about.
Yeah, I
It
wouldn't.
doesn't get, like the Sovereign Strike gets a little weirder. You might not be as
Right.
ideal, but shock beaming those models, all of those models hate being shocked a lot.
Yeah, and if I get to do that and he's still healthy, that's its own reward, even if I don't get the Sovereign Strike for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
God, Winter Guard's so cool.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from today. So I want to play more Winter Guard.
I think I'm seriously considering whether or not I'm cutting the Venom from the roster to make this a play.
That okay.
Then what happened here is like very likely to happen.
For tanking it, you mean? Yeah, I mean if all you
It's
want
really
from that
unlikely to.
2-threat is to not get nuked, then
I think in this matchup, that's all I want.
Well,
'Cause it's not like I
okay.
would cut Widow out of the roster. I would add another 2-pointer.
I think there is one downside to that plan.
yeah, your deployment has to be pretty different, right? If she
Yeah.
That's true.
Like the long move,
It's a
opening
big
that up
deal.
for you, I think matters a lot, and double medium definitely doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so maybe this is fine.
okay.
I mean, I think there's other crisis combos where Okoye would be definitely better than Widow for you, and it might still be worthwhile.
But
But
I guess I also probably don't need to like bluff the 2-pointer sides when I have priority. Just be like, I'm gonna.
I mean, I guess, but you did end up putting both on the same side, right? Are you saying you deploy both on the same side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the only difference.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you're okay with Okoye being over by a large tank size 3, then
Probably just stands
there
on
isn't
it.
a difference.
Yeah. How much does Okoye change with the math on living?
Ton. She has another die and a reroll.
Yeah.
So your 7 die.
I got it. It goes to 28%.
So it
Vicious.
adds the likelihood.
Vile. You guys are
sort of,
including
yeah.
the throw, right? Because I would get the throw
Yes.
into palliative barrel size too. Okay, cool.
Both of them having count blanks is a big deal into Malekith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
Blanks pierce, which is a big part of what's going on.
And Okoye is one more defense and a reroll.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, cool. Well...
Yeah, this matchup is weird, and I think like the more I've played the Malekith matchup now, especially now that like people are very good with Malekith, I think so much. I think this matchup is probably closer to even than I thought it was. Like, I think if the Malekith player plays perfectly, this matchup is kind of even. Right, but the problem is like if the Malekith player ever steps in it, like it's a huge blowout. Does that make sense? Like, it's like I think if they can play around my shenanigans, they're in really good shape. And I think if they ever like make a mistake and step in it, I can like just threaten to win on the spot.
Yeah, I think the I don't know if you look. I think the Malekith player has a harder game to play here than the Shield player. I think if both players are playing very well, then it's a good game. But I like the chance of the Malekith player stepping on a rake that ends in disaster is way higher than the Shield player stepping into a rake.
I think the Shield player. I don't think the Shield player like steps in a rake. I think he like doesn't have his like because all the rakes are like remotely triggered, right? So like either triggers
What?
them wrong. Well, I mean, like, it's not like it just like it's not like they automatically. It's not like they're like onboard triggers that cost nothing that just go off anytime you do the wrong thing. Right? They are like things that require piloting.
He has to carefully place the rakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just toss rakes anywhere. They're very carefully laid down in the right places.
The rakes are remotely triggered. Yeah. Well,
So, Pat, do you have any thoughts on this matchup?
That was here.
or on
That's
the
very
last
reasonable.
hour and 50 minutes of content.
He was good. There was some Pat laughs in here.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
it was this was interesting to me from a Malekith perspective, and just like talking through the activation order in both games has been interesting to me. As like sort of two different versions of the big idiot meta, and like this sort of being the more extreme one where there's just like 1,000 shield models and a Malekith. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's definitely interesting. I feel more prepared to play Winter Guard than I did before.
great. That was the objective.
I guess
you can bring games next time, Pat.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
How much? Okay, this is a situation where like, how close is the thought process that you guys went through in these two games analogous to what happens when you normally play a game, versus like this being an exercise in really getting into the details?
I think for me, the opener is like pretty similar. It's like if I have priority into Malekith, it's put Widow on a point, try to get something to come into my shield guns. If not, take both hammers. The other thing is that I think the vast majority of players really still, even with me like screaming it from the rooftops, underestimate how strong this is.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same place because, like, the broad strokes of this plan, I will know going into it, right? Like, this model is going to get thrown away to go to this point. These guys are going to come shoot over here. There's a lot of little details that we uncovered in this stream that I probably wouldn't have thought about. Maybe I would do them instinctually. Maybe I would miss them, right? Like, putting Widow in the center was something I never thought about until today.
It's
So, like,
very
if
funny
I
because
was-
I almost asked that as you were having the conversation about Bots's Winter Soldier and Malekith placement. It was like, Vince has the same problem, but
Right. Yeah. So there's definitely these deployments in the last two games are definitely better than what I would do naturally. Right. I'm still a little flying at the seat of my pants if I'm doing this myself. But the big picture plan, I think, would be the same if I was playing a normal game versus sitting here and spending an hour talking about turn one.
hell yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I think also, I mean, so there are definitely some specifics to Winter Guard for sure, but I think, having watched a lot of this game, I think that a lot of what Winter Guard does, especially when it's like Winter Guard plus a big guy, whether that's Hulk or Malekith, is kind of broadly applicable to a lot of factions. Like, at least more so than, like, the third game that we would do if we wanted to, is Criminal Syndicate. And Criminal Syndicate versus Avengers is probably a pretty common matchup. Both of those factions are played a lot, so I think it has value in that case. But also, playing Kingpin is not like playing most other factions, so I don't think that there's like I think
much
probably
usefulness.
yeah, if we walked through it the way we did, I think people who are not playing Kingpin would not have as much to take away from it, you know?
Yeah, I also think like the meta just feels really narrow right now. It feels like there's only three things going on in the meta. You're like your list is either bad or doing one of these three things, and
What
it
are
is
the three
either
things?
the three things are big idiot,
Okay.
right? Rapid fire,
Okay.
healing factor.
Okay, hang on.
I think
I was so in for the introduction to this statement, but
I think healing factor is just a response to big idiot.
Did you really think? Would you really characterize X-Men as a healing factor faction?
I would absolutely not. That is horseshit.
I would characterize them as
I
a
think-
storm leadership faction. Like, that's what defines them. Not that they, I don't know. Not that Sabretooth heals too or whatever.
I just like I think that yeah, maybe I'm overblowing it, but like I think that like a lot of teams are, specifically a lot of like scenario teams are playing healing factor to limit what the big boys are doing to them.
A
And then healing factor
third,
from the
dude,
other side hits rapid fire.
okay, stop. A third
What?
of my games at second win, I played no healing factor characters.
I actually,
It's not a list archetype. It's a cool thing to have, but it is not a list archetype.
I was gonna say that I'm totally with you that there are 3 things that are good right now, but I would not have listed those 3 things. There's like
I guess the third thing is what?
aggro with Big Idiot, like you said, and then I would
Yes.
not characterize Shield as rapid fire. I would put Shield and X-Men in roughly the same category as like defensive control stuff. And then the third thing is like, I don't know, Avengers runaway mobility. Like, you know, Avengers with Hulk and they can run away with one big
Avengers, Web
important thing.
Warriors.
Yeah, Avengers, Web Warriors and stuff. To me, those are the 3. At least at second win, those are the 3 things I saw. And like in this matchup, you were playing defensive tech, defensive control, and I'm playing Big Idiot. And in the previous matchup we played, I'm playing Big Idiot, and I'm against a yet further bigger idiot.
Bigger, dumber person.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's like Big Idiot, Catcher's Mitt, scenario
Yes.
blitz.
Yeah,
Yes.
Catcher's Mitt is a good way to describe it. That makes more sense.
That's
to
what
me.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree with those. Not healing factor.
Healing
Rapid
factor.
fire healing factor. Rapid fire does feel like it's everywhere right now, though.
Well, rapid fire.
Well, that's just because
has-
Bucky's everywhere.
and Mystique, but
And Mystique's everywhere.
Sure,
but
yeah.
to me, those aren't the things that are defined. Like if instead of if Bucky was just as good, but instead of having a rapid fire gun, he had one very large gun, I don't think that would actually change most of how his factions played. It would be like he would be worse against some models and better against some other models, but it's not like it would change the identity of Shield, you know?
And also, like, Mystique most often shows up in the big idiots list.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Big Idiots are good because they're playing Big Idiot and rapid fire.
Yeah, and they could even
So now
play
they
healing
just need a
factors.
healing factor. Yeah.
Well,
Put a honey
healing factor-
badger in there, and it's the perfect list. It cannot be beaten.
Healing factor's good against both Big Idiot and rapid fire.
It's not.
That's so,
It-
what?
It's not good against rapid fire.
But it heals one. If you leave him alive, then it heals.
I understand how the rule works, but it
Okay.
doesn't do anything
It sounds like
special
you
against
don't.
rapid fire. Like, the only reason it's good against big idiots is because of exceptional healing.
Yeah, I
And
agree with
exceptional
that.
healing is not very exciting into rapid fire models.
Correct, but healing factor without
Does it? Okay.
alone.
I'm gonna,
If you,
If I have to activate 2 models to kill your guy,
but that's the same thing if they don't have healing factor. If you shoot
heal back
Sabretooth with
up,
Bucky
it's hard.
and leave him on 1, and then Sabretooth heals 1 health, what does that matter? Any other model, your second model's still going to kill him. But if you didn't have healing factor, you would still need a second model to kill him.
okay. But like, let's say like I'm like into Sabretooth, like a rapid
Yeah.
fire model is likely to do like 3.5 damage to him,
Okay.
right? So like, if I do 3 damage to him and
Yeah.
then he goes, it
Uh-huh.
wildly changes the odds of the other rapid fire model killing him.
I'm sorry, I'm
Kind
fucking
of
dying.
slight-
You can turn off gravity.
I was wondering how you're.
Sorry.
No. This is. What's the toggle for gravity?
I have Malekith.
I was wondering if you would hit the wall eventually.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. You right click and you go to physics, and then there's just a gravity switch.
I don't see
Yeah,
a physics
clearly-
under right click. I guess only the host can do it.
Oh really? Oh, that's lame.
Okay.
Whatever. Rapid fire healing. That's nonsense. I see what you're saying, but also that's just like assuming your only options for Sabretooth are 2 rapid fire models, which
No, it's not. You're like saying like it's just that. Like 23 Strucker.
so I don't think rapid fire is particularly, or healing factor is particularly special in the rapid fire. I think that situation of like, yeah, if you don't kill them, it changes what you need to finish them off is true, but that's true of every type of model hitting them.
Damn. Vince destroyed by facts and logic.
No, I mean, I think you're also underplaying that like exceptional is good into rapid fire. Like if I'm doing 2
okay.
shots into you, like like I can, like if I spike one of them, you stop it, and then like if that was the only damage I did to you, you heal it. You're like, oh,
But
4
it's
health, man.
less
Nice.
good than into big guys.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I was saying. Like, I think it's
But I'm
I
just saying
think it's
it's good
nothing
into the other
special
two
into
things.
rapid fire. I mean, exceptional thing's not a bad card ever. Yes, obviously.
Okay. You're just being contrarian.
Yeah, I'm the one who's being
Yep,
contrarian.
yeah, you are.
Yep.
You're correct. Accurate. Oh, that guy still got gravity.
I'm trying to figure out. I can't figure out how to
All right,
implement bounciness on the terrain. But oh, it is bouncing. Look at that. Boink, boink, boink. All right, we can play Crokinole on this now.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay, sure. Except that, like, every one of those shots would be illegal.
Well, okay, there would have to be. We'd have to adjust some rules about how to like throw stuff, but. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream with some words instead of just throwing around.
Oh sure.
Yeah, that'd
Yes,
be great. Thank
all right, thank you everyone for watching. I did find this really helpful. I think one thing that I definitely we would need to do more of these for, because I'm still learning it, is like when it actually makes sense to seed objectives in like such a clear way. Like the first game that we talked about where I would just not look for the scroll. That's something that I wonder about often, but I have not ever committed to doing, like just completely ignoring it. And I think when you guys walked me through, it makes a lot of sense. And in the second game, I don't know. It wasn't like there was like one big revelation specifically, but I think the way we played out the first turn ended up a lot better for me than I expected, especially considering the dice didn't really go in my favor. So I need to like think about this more and figure out how to replicate that, because it really felt like I was going into turn 2 with a pretty strong advantage, and it could have been even stronger. I mean, it theoretically could have been something crazy where it's like 6-1.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to do more of these in the future, because this was actually very helpful. Unfortunately,
let us know if you found this helpful. If there's stuff we didn't talk about that you wanted more time spent on. Any and all feedback on this would be super helpful, because this is just kind of an idea Boz had that I think is a very good one, but we didn't really brainstorm it beyond. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. Also, it would be open to other factions. I mean, part of this was I have specific questions because I play Winterguard a lot, but if at a faction that at least some of us knew stuff about, we could like walk through turn like that. So I don't know. Like, what else is big in the meta? I guess like dealing with Cabal would be good. That would be like
dealing with Cabal is a good one. Dealing with like Avengers, right?
Yeah,
Some of the Steve lists, some of the Hulk stuff.
Yeah, I would love to. One of the games that happened at Second Wind, that I think we talked about a little bit. It didn't include any of us, but it was just such an interesting game for me to watch, and I happened to be upstairs when it was happening. Was a game. Mike DeLuca was players. It's common, but I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. Anyway, I forget the name of the other player, but it was Steve Hulk Malekith versus Steve Hulk Voodoo Cat. And that type of ridiculous degeneracy is the type of thing I'm interested in breaking down, especially turn 1 and turn 2 as well. So
and that was the wrap up.
Yeah, that was it.
It was perfect. No notes.
All right.
All right. I gotta go, guys.
All right. See you, dude. Thanks for playing.
Hey, Vince.